1986 BMW 325i Sport. So this is obviously a factory sport car, M-Tech 1 body kit, as you can see. We'll show you that as we go around. So short of paying £100,000 for an E30 M3 in left-hand drive, this is about, well, this is the most desirable you're going to find in an E30. 325, so 2.56 cylinder, sport, so it's got the nicer interior. This one specifically has houndstooth, which personally is my favourite, and an M-Tech body kit. We'll start by having a look at the bodywork. If we start on this front driver's quarter, so the car's this lovely dark grey colour. We'll start on this front corner here. If we look down the side of the vehicle, you see lovely and straight all the way down, no ripples or dents or anything like that. Look on this front bumper corner, you can see no scratches or scuffs in the plastic. The plastic itself, lovely and clean, it's not dried out or cracked. This lower valance and body kit, it's all nice and clean, there's no cracks or dents or anything in that. You have a look underneath, it's not been torn apart or anything. There's a couple of little minor scuffs, but actually I think a lot of that's just dirt, to be fair. We'll get that cleaned off. See M-Tech badge on there, so M-Tech 1 body kit, they did a 1 and a 2. For this model year, M-Tech 1, which is the slightly sort of more square body kit with extra lines and things in it. If you check the description, we'll detail the sort of timeline and things in that. This front wing, all lovely and straight and clean. There's no sign of any sort of scratches or dents or chips. The arch is lovely and solid. It's almost sharp on the back side of it. Really good all the way around. Really, really good. Correct original wheels, all with centre caps. And Toyo Proxy tyres all round. Loads of tread left in them. Nice new tyres. Yeah, really, really good. Obviously sign of good ownership. And again, the sports with the M-Tech kit got this lower side valance, so it comes up onto the arches on front and rear, and then along the bottom. Quite often they go wavy and ripply, but as you can see, this one's lovely and straight all the way along. Nice and clean all the way down. It's not been smashed up any curves or anything like that. Coming down on the driver's door, you've got a very tiny little parking chip just here. But other than that, really good, nice and clean. Couple of little, well, tiny little bubble in the paint there as well. Worth pointing that out. Coming down on this rear quarter. Again, that's all lovely and straight. The arch itself on the back, again, lovely and solid all the way around. Another matching Toyo Proxy in there. Lovely and clean as well. If we're going to be really picky, those two screws, if it was me, I would change them because they're a bit minging, but they're doing the job. Just me being really picky. Rear bumper meets the wing nice. We've got a little bit of polish left over in there, but we'll get that cleaned out. Around the filler cups, nice. We do have a tiny little chip just on the top corner there. Again, if you look down that panel, you can see lovely and straight all the way down. Round on the rear of the car, both tail lights nice and clean, nice and bright. There's no cracking or anything in those. What looks to be the original dealer plates, but again, we'll confirm that in the description. Lower bumper again, M-Tech rear bumper, as you can see. Nice and straight. Plastics are all lovely and clean all the way down. All the corners are nice and straight. There's no scuffs or anything on those. Underneath, as you can see there, really nice and clean. No sign of any corrosion or anything like that. And then this bumper corner again, just as good. The rubber on the spoiler, which normally dries out and cracks, it's lovely and soft. There's not a mark on it, really, really good. And the same for the plastic sort of trim piece where it meets the boot lid. Quite often it cracks along here, but that's good. Correct badging, there's no daft extra badges added at all. Deck lid itself is lovely and clean. We've given the car a quick clean, but really it could do with a proper valet. A little bit of a hand polish tidy up, but it's all there, it's all clean. It just wants finishing off properly. This A-pillar's lovely. Round on the roof, and again, that's all nice and straight. There's no ripples or dents. Around the sunroof, it's lovely all the way around. You've got a tiny little scuff just here where it's sort of caught at some point, but it doesn't catch at the minute, I know that. This pillar's all nice. Around the glass is good. All the black plastic trim is lovely. It's not covered in back to black or anything like that. It's not dried out, it's not cracked. And quite often this trim will bubble up, but that's lovely on both sides, as is the same on the seals around the window. This rear arch, again, lovely and solid all the way around. Matching Toyo Proxy. And again, we'll look at this side skirt, and again, no waviness, nice and straight all the way down. These seams, which can quite often be a point for corrosion, are lovely and clean on both sides. This door, all nice and clean, no marks on the wing mirror or anything like that. Around the indicator's good. This arch again, lovely and solid all the way around, and a final matching Toyo Proxy. It's an expensive tyre, sign of good ownership. All the headlights and everything are nice and clean. There's a couple of stone chips on the lower valance here and there, but nothing major at all really. Indicators and everything are good. The bonnet, we do have a tiny little mark in the paint just there, and another little mark just there. And the bonnet itself, as you can see, is a little bit swirly. You could do with a good polish. If we get time, we may actually do that because that'll make a huge difference. And then both A-pillars, lovely and clean. This scuttle is nice and clean, but we'll have a good look at that when we open the bonnet. One of my favourite things about this car is it's a sport, so it's got sport interior, but it does have houndstooth, which is the name for this trim, which just, for me, perfect 80s BMW. Nice thin M steering wheel and houndstooth interior. 6-cylinder BMW. Can't see what you could possibly want more in life. Now on the camera, it does look slightly dirty, but it isn't. It's more just the shadow and the way the trim sort of finishes. If we get nice and close, you can see it's lovely and clean all the way down. Really, really good. All nice and clean. And we've got manual adjustment on the sport seats. All nice and clean. The bolsters are lovely. Normally these collapse down here and this seam comes apart, but that's all really good. Same on both sides, and then the uppers as well, really, really good. And if I have a look at the back, you'll see the backs of the seats lovely and clean. Backs of the headrests are great. In the back here, again, does look dirty on the camera, but if we get nice and close, you can see lovely and clean all over. Pull that armrest down. And again, that's nice and tight, not loose and saggy, really, really good. Parcel shelf is nice. Being a sport, we've got the darker headliner, which is lovely and clean. There's no sign of any sagging or anything on that. 111,000 miles on this one. Really good as far as wear goes on things like the gear knob. Steering wheel's really, really good as well. Top of the dash, all nice and clean. Carpet set, nice and dark, not faded, not covered in ingrained dirt or anything like that. Have a look in the boot. Again, if you're sad like me, the first thing you check is that toolkit. It looks like we've got, everything intact, always nice to see. Carpet itself, you get a grey carpet in an 80s BMW, it normally shows loads of dirt, but this is lovely and clean. Original jack and everything there. Battery cover's still present. We'll pop that out of the way and have a look at the boot floor. And again, all nice and clean in here. There's no sign of any moisture anywhere in the car. The spare wheel, matching Toyo proxy. Like the rest of the car, again, most people might put some nice quality tyres on the car, but they'll not go to the trouble of matching in the spare tyre as well, which is always a good sign. Round on the passenger side. Again, another lovely clean door card. Electric windows on this one as well. Sport cars tend to get a higher spec of trim. This passenger seat, lovely and straight all the way down. The bolsters have worn lovely. No sign of any wear at all really, especially on the side pieces. And the actual houndstooth trim, lovely and clean all the way down. We do have an older Sony aftermarket stereo in there, but other than that, everything else completely standard. And we do have on the sports, some of the higher specs, you've got the check panel as well, which is nice to see. And more importantly, we've got a torch. Again, these things always go missing over the time. And we've got a cover for the head unit there should you want it. Have a look under the engine bay. Or in the engine bay, should I say. Obviously, BMW 2.5, 6-cylinder, manual gearbox. For me, this is just peak BMW. In and around the strut tops and the inner wings, lovely and clean. All of the plaques and plates, nice and visible, nice and straight. There's no silly hoses. Obviously, Diamond Schwartz metallic, which we know, dark grey. And here's lovely and clean. Bulkhead and everything nice and straight. There's no sign of any fluid leaks around the rocker cover gaskets or anything like that. And if I have a look underneath, no sign of any fluid dropping on the floor there. Really nice and clean. We'll get it started up. Been with us a couple of days now. It always starts on the button, this thing. I've briefly driven it down the road. Gearbox, lovely and tight. Clutch is good, brakes are good, nice and straight. No nasty rattles or squeaks as it goes down the road. No sign of any fluid or anything coming out the back. All nice and smooth in there. As I say, a 2.5 6-cylinder manual BMW is about as good as it gets for me. So there you have it. M-Tech 1 Factory Sport 325i Sport. If you've got any questions, please get in touch. We are open every day for viewings if that's what you want to do. you can't get to us for any reason, we can do video calls, send extra photos or videos, answer any questions you might have. Please just get in touch. We're happy to help. Thank you.